Thank you very much for agreeing to give some tips to new students. To start with, what kind of tips? You've just finished your dissertation.
That's correct.
Congratulations. What kind of tips would you offer to somebody who's about to start theirs?
I would say that the first thing to do is to think about the question that you want to answer, and then try to do a little bit of reading around it. From your reading, you will start to find out the quotations that they're giving, and also the people that they're using for these quotations. My next tip would be to actually go and look at other books and see what they're saying. Are they using the same people? If so, go and try and source the work and try to get first-hand information from the work itself that they're quoting from. And from there, you should be able to say either you're going to answer your question or it will have information for your question. But the bibliography and the referencing that they're doing, you should be able to move on to the next steps of knowing what to read and what not to read.
Thank you. When you were organising all of your research, did you have any sort of methods or tips of how you organised it? Because you've got a lot of stuff, haven't you? How did you organise it?
I think the only thing I can say is have your question or the topic written up, so that each time you read something, if it's not referring back to the topic or it hasn't got anything to do with the topic, but it's interesting reading, leave it to one side, but mark down the book, and from the book you can make little notes to say that this is covering this type of topic, but it's not necessarily, it might be background information, but not necessarily the information you want. But it's a good idea to just write down what is inside that book, and also the references, because later on you might think about something in that book that you want, and you can't remember what it is. So all the books that you read, write down their references and write down the pages that give you specific information that you thought, that was interesting, and keep it in a little notebook or a little diary, so that next time when you want to come and look at it, you know where it is, so you don't have to search your mind or search around the library looking for the same book.
That's really useful, thank you. When you were writing it up, can you think of anything that you specifically did about in that writing up stage?
The writing up stage was particularly difficult because you're trying to combine your literature review, also a lot of other little things that you would want to include in your study. My stance on that was I wrote the assignment, and then because I've done the reading around it, I know there was quotations that would back it up, because you can't be writing without doing the reading. So anything that you're writing is informed by the reading in the first place. So my tip would be to sit down and start writing. And when you start writing, what you will find is that when you revisit again, you will know where the quotations need to go to back up what you're saying. But the first thing to do is to actually do the writing. But before that, you have to do quite intensive reading. It's very important. You have to do intensive reading, and it's not just 1 and 2 hours when you got time. It is like you have to set aside time, because as human beings, what we'll do, we'll faff about, and we will find things to do that doesn't need doing. It's important, but it doesn't need doing, and we will do them first, and the reading will not get done. The whole point of it is mark your time, and then when it's your time, go and do the reading. Push yourself to do the reading. It will pay off.
That's really useful. Thank you very much.
Okay.